It's your boy, the Truth Seeker. What's happening? How to Trap 101 by Mr. Landers. That's me. It's a book I wrote for all the resellers. Anybody trying to sell anything, especially if you're reselling. I noticed a lot of people like, yo, how do I get started? What do I do? This book pretty much have everything in there you need. If you want to support, all you gotta do is like the video, because I'm gonna read the book to y'all. And if you want to buy it, it's on Amazon. So I can send a link. But as you can see, How to Trap 101, this is how it looks right there. All right, so let's start. So, How to Trap 101, the only sales book written from the culture by Mr. Landers. All right. So copyright, fair use. Yeah. Okay. So, the 10 trap commandments. Number 1. Thou shalt know when to pivot. Not every hustle is meant to last forever. The market changes, trends fade, and what worked yesterday might flop tomorrow. Know when to shift lanes. A smart trapper know when to evolve or risk becoming a fossil in the game. Commandment number 2. Thou shalt practice honesty at all times. If it's broken, say it's broken. If it's used, say it's used. Deception might get you a quick buck, but it kills trust. And trust is the only real currency in business. One bad deal can cost you 100 customers, especially if the person you tried to finesse has a platform or pull you didn't see coming. Real bosses move with integrity. Number 3, thou shalt prioritize quality over quantity. You can move a lot of trash or you can sell a few gems that get people talking. Whatever you push, shirts, shoes, services, make sure the quality speaks louder than the price tag. Let your name be associated with excellence. Commandment number 4, thou shalt remain consistent. If the formula is working, don't overthink it. Consistency is what builds reputation. Refine when necessary, but don't fix what ain't broken. Stay solid, stay steady. Commandment number 5, thou shalt keep an ear to the streets. Cultures move fast. Trends swift by the hour. Keep your ear to the ground and your eyes on what's buzzing. If you know how to pivot fast enough, you can ride the wave before it crashes. Number 6, thou shalt never let a customer knock you off your square. Low ballers, slick talkers, or flirtatious energy, don't let it throw you off. Remain a pro. Protect your name and your space. If a customer takes you out of character, they didn't just cost you money, they cost you reputation. Number 7, thou shalt be ready to walk away. Desperation smells and customers can sniff it. Be firm, know your value. If someone ain't respecting your price or energy, let the sale go. What's meant for you won't require begging. Number 8, thou shalt treat everyone with respect. Money don't make the man. The broke-looking customer today could be your biggest investor tomorrow. Treat the janitor and the CEO the same. You never know who's watching or talking. Number 9, thou shalt not judge a wallet by the outfit. Don't upcharge someone just because they look rich, and don't undercut someone just because they look broke. Fair pricing builds trust. Stereotyping kills credibility. See this a lot of time. Number 10, last one. Thou shalt only sell what they stand behind. If you don't use it, love it, or believe in it, don't sell it. Passion is what keeps you going when the money slows. Push products that align with who you are, or you will burn out, sell out, or fall out. That's my 10 commandments. 10 trap commandments. All right, acknowledgement. First and foremost, I want to give a special thanks to the love of my life, Lex. For once again being the spark behind my words. Your encouragement, patience, and belief in me is what pushed this second book into existence when I noticed it the most. Pushed this second book into existence when I needed it most. Without you, none of this would be possible. I also want to thank my family for standing behind me from the very beginning, for believing in me when all I had was ambition and a dream. Your support through my first book, Alpha Mentality, that'll be this one here, also on Amazon, written by me, gave me the confidence to keep going and reach even higher with this one. To every friend, mentor, and even every doubter along the way, thank you. You either gave me love or gave me fuel. I needed both. A huge shout out to the hustlers, the visionaries, the builders, anyone out there fighting daily battles that nobody sees. This is for you. You are proof that the marathon continues. Lastly, I want to thank God for the strength, clarity, and opportunities to create something that could outlive me. This book isn't just pages, it's proof that dreams written down with hustle turn into reality. Thank you all for being part of my journey. Mr. Landis, that's me. Introduction. The new trap, turning hustles into legacies. In society, you either work a 9 to 5 until you're old and gray, or you hit the streets and risk your life. That's what they tell us. Like those are the only two options. But what if it was a lie? What if you can make money like a lawyer or a doctor without the school debt, the boring job, or the risk of catching a case? Most people think trapping only means selling drugs, running scams, or doing something illegal. And yeah, that's one kind of trapping, but it's the kind that keeps you stuck. You end up either locked up or in a cage or end up in a box. That's why they call it a trap. The real hustlers, the ones who make money and keep it, aren't out there looking over their shoulders. They're flipping products, building businesses, and investing in something bigger than fast cash. This book is about that kind of trapping, the kind that gets you paid, free, and in control of your life. Hustle and flip, my story. I remember when the pandemic hit and the whole world shut down overnight. Streets were empty, stores boarded up, and people were panicking. Jobs gone. Businesses closing for good. Everybody scrambling to figure out their next move. It was like watching the system collapse in real time. Some people were waiting for the government to save them. Others were stuck in survival mode, trying to make whatever little money they had stretch. But while most people saw a crisis, I saw opportunity. The sneaker play. I can't say I've always been a hustler at heart, but when everything shut down, I asked myself, what are people still spending money on? Even when things are bad, that's when I looked in on sneakers. Not just any sneakers, but exclusives. The Heat, Bread 11s, Yeezys, Off-Whites, Dunks, the pairs people went crazy for. See, sneakers head don't just stop because the world does. If you love kicks, you're still going to want them, pandemic or not. And since stores were closing and supplies was getting tight, that want was turning into need, so I made my move. How I was flipping. I hit up Foot Locker and all the online raffles, securing as many pairs as I could. The second they dropped, I was there. If you didn't cop on release day, it was over because they sold out instantly. And that was where I came in. I was a sneaker plug. I buy them at retail and flip them for at least $100 profit per pair. Sometimes way more than that. If the demand was crazy. And I wasn't robbing people, I was playing the game the way it's meant to be played. Supply and demand. People wanted them, I had them, that's business. That realization changed everything. At first it was just a quick flip, a way to stack up while the world figured itself out. But then it hit me. People will always find a way to spend money on what they want, even in hard times. It doesn't matter that jobs are disappearing. It doesn't matter that businesses were failing. People still have money for what mattered to them, whether that was sneakers, entertainment, food, or anything that brought them a little sense of normalcy. And here's the real game. More money is spent during tragic times than people realize. Think about it. During the Great Depression, people still found money for movie tickets. And in 2008, luxury brands still cashed in. And during COVID, sneaker resellers, myself included, were eating while Netflix and DoorDash made billions. The world doesn't stop spinning, it just shifts where the money goes. Once you understand that, you stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. And once I realized that, I started thinking bigger. The sneaker game was just the beginning. But the mindset, that was the real game. Marathon mentality, how Nipsey Hussle and Black Sam became legendary. If you want to talk about real trappers who changed the game, two-time Grammy-winning artist Nipsey Hussle and his brother Black Sam. Yeah, I got Nip on my wall. Ben had him up there. Been a fan since 2010. But anyways, so I put him up there. They wasn't just hustling for survival. They were building ownership in a system designed to lock them out. Growing up in South Central LA, the streets weren't just a backdrop. They were a battleground. Opportunities were slim. The LAPD, especially their crash gang task force, treated every young black man like a suspect. Gang culture wasn't something you just joined, it was a part of your life. You were from wherever you lived, and like most kids in the hood, Nipsey Hussle and Black Sam had to hustle to survive. But here's what made them different. They weren't just making money, they were making moves. Black Sam wasn't just some dude standing outside the liquor store trying to make a few quick dollars. He was studying the game. He saw how money moved, how supply met demand, how customers came back when you built trust. He was selling CDs, DVDs, t-shirts outside that same strip mall for years. But he wasn't just selling, he was stacking. He understood the power of reinvestment. Before most people in the hood even thought about ownership, Nipsey took that same energy and turned it into an independent music empire. When labels wouldn't cut him a deal that made sense, he created his own lanes. He pressed up Crenshaw mixtape, slapped a $100 price tag on it when most people were giving out free downloads, and dared people to see his value. Jay-Z bought 100 copies off rip, and that one move shifted the whole culture of independent artists. But here's where the real trapping happened. They weren't thinking about today's money, they were thinking about tomorrow's power. The same strip mall where they used to hustle, they bought it. That wasn't just a real estate move, it was a power move. They went from being seen as kids loitering outside to being the landlords collecting rent. That's the game, that's the trap flipped the right way. Their store at Marathon wasn't just a place to sell clothes. It was a symbol of economic revolution. It showed the hood that you don't have to leave to be successful. You can own your own hood, invest in it, and create opportunities for the next generation. Nipsey wasn't just talking about ownership, he was creating real pathways for the next generation. He co-founded Vector 90, a co-working space and STEM center in South Central LA, where kids could learn about tech, entrepreneurship, and coding, industries that weren't being introduced to them in school. He knew that the key to success wasn't just money, it was access to knowledge and resources. Nipsey wasn't just rapping about bossing up and buying back the block. He was really doing it. And that's the real definition of a trapper. They take what they have and double up. They don't just play the game, they flip it, own it, and build something long-lasting. Something that builds generational wealth. Like Young Thug said, hustlers don't stop, they keep going. So ask yourself, are you just making money or are you making moves? Are you trapping to survive or are you trapping to own? Now, why I wrote this book. I remember what it felt like trying to get a job as a teenager. Excited but nervous. I filled out application after application. Macy's, Target, Foot Locker, anywhere that was hiring. I made sure my resume was perfect, rehearsed my interviews, answers, and even ironed out my best outfit. I remember standing at the bus stop, palms sweaty, heart racing, hoping that this time would be different, hoping this time I get that congratulations, you're hired call instead of the usual, we'll get back to you in 1 or 2 weeks. Weeks passed, no call. Then finally, when the email came in, my heart skipped a beat, only to sink when I read, we regret to inform you that we went with another candidate due to lack of experience. Good luck. Every single time. But how do you get experience when no one hires you because you don't have experience? It was a never-ending loop. And I knew I wasn't alone. This was the reality for most teenagers and young adults. And even when I did land a job, the pay was trash. I bust my ass for minimum wage, and after taxes, I could barely afford anything. Forget savings, forget benefits. That was out of the question. The system wasn't built for me to get ahead. It was designed to keep me just comfortable enough to survive, but never enough to thrive. The harsh truth about money and work. Look around. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck, barely keeping up. According to a Yahoo Finance article published by bankingrates.com, 40% of Americans have $500 or less in their checking account. Inflation is eating away at your money. According to inflationtool.com, the cost of living in the U.S. has increased 23% since 2020, meaning that $100 in 2020 is worth only $76 today. And it's only going up, with another 2.2% increase expected this year. Think about it. Even if you save more than the average person, what's the point? Your money is losing value every year. Might as well leave it on the floor and let the rats chew it up, because that's exactly what's happening in your bank account. So I wrote this book to show you there's another way to control your money, not let it control you, a way to trap smart and build real wealth without getting trapped in the system. The difference between street trapping and business trapping. Let's be real. The streets in the business world aren't as different as people think. Both have hustlers, product movement, rules to the game. One can get you locked up or killed, while the other can build generational wealth. Street trapping. Fast money, high risk, one more move, and you can lose everything. Rules set by the street. You can't sell whatever you want, wherever you want. Every block is controlled. Always looking over your shoulder. The cops, the ops, and even your own people can turn on you. Short-term gains, long-term losses. Sure, you can make quick money, but it comes at a cost. Prison, death, or constantly looking over your shoulder. Business trapping. Slower money, but long-term wealth. It takes time to build, but the money is safer, legal, and scalable. Rules set by the business world, but they are just as cutthroat. People think corporate America is soft. Nah, business sharks will smile in your face while robbing you blind with contracts and lawsuits. Still comes with risk. Instead of getting shot, you can get sued. Instead of losing a pack, you can lose your business in a bad deal. The difference, you can protect yourself. You can insure your businesses, trademark your brand, and legally get your money back. At the end of the day, both games are about survival, but only one can truly build wealth. You gotta be a shark. For the longest, I thought the key to smooth business was being chill. If I paid whatever price they asked, didn't argue, didn't try to negotiate, I figured people would see that as respect. I thought they appreciate my easygoing attitude that I was showing them love by not haggling. But I learned the hard way. But what I learned the hard way is nobody appreciates a pushover. In business, if you aren't negotiating, if you're not pushing for what you deserve, then you're getting played. And most people will gladly take advantage of you. I found that out when I realized I wasn't making deals. I was just handing out my hard-earned cash. The more I stayed in my comfort zone and not speaking up, the more I ended up with less than I deserved. It wasn't about being cool, it was about being weak. And in business, weakness doesn't get you respect, it gets you exploited. That's when I made a choice. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I knew I had to flip my mindset to something sharper, something tougher. If I was going to survive in this world, I had to become a shark. And I made an acronym. Sharp, be aware of the game. Know your worth and know when someone's trying to get over you. Honorable. Don't lose your integrity, but stand firm. You are in this for the long haul, not to get played. Assertive. Speak up even if it feels uncomfortable. You'll lose every time if you stay silent. Ruthless. Business isn't about being nice. It's about making sure you come out on top. Ruthlessness isn't a dirty word. It's about making sure you're respected. Not just liked, and that's where people like Trump got it right. You don't have to agree with his style, but the man demands respect. The way he talks, the way he negotiates is all about owning the room. He doesn't apologize for his confidence. He puts it out there unapologetically, and it works. Whether people like it or not, his name alone carries weight. Look, you can say what you want about him, but he doesn't let people walk over him. That's what you need to understand. You don't get respect in business by being passive or letting someone take advantage of you just to keep things cool. If you're not ruthless in protecting your worth, you'll get overlooked, pushed aside, and left in the dust. Business isn't a charity, it's a battle, and you gotta fight for your peace. When you're ruthless, you command attention. You show people that they can't just steamroll you and get away with it. That's a mentality you need to develop if you want to build something real. Last but not least, killer instinct. Trust your gut. The moment you hesitate is the moment someone else wins. I wasn't just learning how to make deals, I was learning how to survive the game. In the streets, they say a lion doesn't concern itself with the opinions of sheep. In business, that means if you're not willing to fight for what you want, you're going to get eaten alive. Here are a few things you can expect from this book. By the time you finish reading, you won't just understand how to trap legally. You will be ready to make your first dollar. We'll break it down. The mindset shift from struggling to thriving. How to pick the best hustle for you. How to flip your first dollar and grow it. Marketing, branding, and making money online. Managing money, investing, and building wealth. How to set yourself up for long-term success beyond just making quick cash. How to get the most out of this book. Look, this isn't the kind of book you just skim through and hope something sticks. If you really want to level up, you got to approach it the right way. Follow these 5 rules and you'll actually see results. Ignoring them and you will just be wasting your time reading it. Number 1, take your time. No rushing. Don't just fly through the book like it's some random social media post. Go somewhere quiet, turn off distraction, and really lock in. Read to understand, not just to finish. Number 2, write it down. If something stands out to you, take notes. Don't assume you'll remember it later. You won't. The details matter, and the small gems hidden in these pages could be different. Could be the difference between staying stuck and breaking through. Number 3, follow the steps. No skipping. Every step in this book is here for a reason. If you skip around or half apply what's being said, you're only playing yourself. Do the work exactly how it's laid out. Number 4, apply it before moving on. Don't just read, test it out. If you don't fully understand something, go back, reread, and try again. This book isn't about stacking knowledge, it's about stacking wins. Number 5, be real with yourself. You're not going to get rich overnight. You're not undoing 10 years of bad habits in a couple months. Progress takes time, but if you stay consistent, you will get further than you ever thought possible. Stick to these rules, and this book won't just be something you read, it'll be something that changes the way you move. That's the end of my introduction. And chapter 1 is the trapper mindset. So, if y'all like any of that, or if you got this far, all I ask is just hit the like button if you want. That's the way you can support me. Hit the like button, comment, share a video if you want. If you want to support it another way, you can just buy the book on Amazon or however you want to do it. But that's all I got for y'all today.